NASCAR has taken legal action against 2311 Racing and Row Motorsports, accusing them of attempting to dismantle the charter system to serve their financial interests. The lawsuit, filed in the Western District of North Carolina, also names Curtis Polk, Michael Jordan's agent and a co-owner of 2311 Racing, as a key figure in what NASCAR describes as an orchestrated effort to disrupt its business model. The charter system guarantees 36 spots in each race, providing stability for teams. In October, 2311 and Row refused to sign a new agreement, arguing that NASCAR was operating as a monopoly and imposing anti-competitive terms. The teams filed their lawsuit, accusing NASCAR of using its power to restrict fair competition and force teams into unfair contracts. NASCAR's countersuit claims the two teams engaged in anti-competitive collective conduct, deliberately trying to sabotage negotiations surrounding the 2025 charter agreements. According to NASCAR, the dispute is not about fairness but rather an attempt by 2311 and Row to exert undue influence over the entire racing industry. The lawsuit explicitly targets Curtis Polk, alleging that he has been manipulating negotiations since June 2022. NASCAR accuses Polk of using boycott threats and coercive tactics to pressure teams into rejecting its terms. The lawsuit paints a picture of a calculated effort to undermine the system, likening Polk's actions to those of an illegal cartel engaged in a scheme to alter the structure of the sport for personal gain. By citing the Sherman Antitrust Act violations, NASCAR frames this as more than just a contract dispute. The organization argues that Polk conspired to disrupt the sport, working behind the scenes to convince teams to reject NASCAR's terms. His involvement with the Race Team Alliance, a collective of race teams, is being used as further evidence of an effort to control the financial landscape of stock car racing. At the heart of the case is a battle over control. 2311 Racing and Row insist that NASCAR wields unchecked power, dictating terms that leave teams with little bargaining leverage. NASCAR, in turn, argues that these teams are attempting to rewrite the rules to benefit themselves at the expense of the sport's stability. The legal fight could reshape NASCAR's operations. If 2311 and Row succeed, it could open the door for significant changes to how teams negotiate their place in the sport. If NASCAR prevails, it will reaffirm its authority over the charter system, solidifying the existing power structure. With two of the sport's most prominent teams challenging its leadership, NASCAR finds itself in a high-stakes legal battle that could determine the future of stock car racing.